What's up everyone? The latest episode of MTV's The Challenge Vets and New Threats just dropped and the pairs are locked in for the rest of the season. But with an episode filled with cheating and screaming, we've got so much to talk about, so welcome to your challenge breakdown. Right before we get started, if you are new around here, make sure to hit the subscribe button. I'm here every single week breaking down the challenge so you know everything that's going on and you can hear all my thoughts and opinions on the craziness that is happening on the show. I'm also covering Survivor 49 with amazing race coverage beginning tonight, so there's lots to watch in the fall, so make sure you are subscribed. I'm also going to ask you all to hit the like button. It takes all of 0.2 seconds just to click that little thumbs up down there, and every single like really does go a long way, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart as a smaller content creator. Those likes, I just appreciate them so much. But without further ado, let's get to the breakdown. I did say let's get to the breakdown. Okay, moving on from whatever that was, we have a great episode to talk about, and everything began about Ashley and Aneesa. And if you've been watching me these last few weeks, you'll know I've had a few opinions on Ashley, and today is no different. So folks, sit yourselves down. I hope you've got a coffee. If you haven't got a coffee or a tea or whatever, because I'm about to drop some tea, grab yourself a nice warm cup of something, because we are about to dish the tea. Let me just take a little sip from this. Here we go. Okay, I need coffee for this, because I'm about to... Here we go. I got to stretch. I've even got to stretch for the mental aspect of this. Okay. So, straight away in this episode, Ashley ganged up on Aneesa and said that she can't win because she's not athletic enough. Let me clear my voice. She then went to mock her in front of Dee and Leo and Theo and saying she's deluded and all that kind of stuff. Just being horrible. Ashley, it's time to take a look at yourself. Stop being so miserable, because that's what Aneesa said as well. She said some people are miserable, and Ashley is one of them. I have never ever came into a show of reality TV and saw somebody who is so... I don't even know what the word would be. Miserable is perfect. Aneesa summed it up. She's not very nice. She's not very nice at all, and she's mean-spirited. She's great for reality TV, I'll give her that. Like, Ashley, you're bringing the entertainment, you're making things spicy, but good God, the way you operate is so rude and mean to people. Aneesa didn't deserve to catch that stray, saying that she's not athletic enough. Who the heck is she to put her in a place like that? Yes, I know Ashley's won it, so I guess that gives her something, but... I'll tell you what, as far as the personal stakes go, Aneesa is so much more pleasant and kind and lovely. But again, we're not playing pleasant, kind and lovely. But I still can't help my empathy to come through right now on a human level, just to say Ashley is so mean and rude and doesn't seem like a very pleasant person to be around. So... she was really going in on Aneesa. Aneesa called her bluff, actually called her out. Good for you, by the way, Aneesa. Can we get a round of applause for Aneesa just for a second? Aneesa ain't messing around, you know. She's a vet for a reason, and I love the fact she stood up for herself and actually said to Ashley's face, you know, you can do all this, you can put on this facade of darling and all this southern charm, but I see right through it. And that set off a spark in Ashley. I think she hit a nerve, because Ashley went... bam! And she was like, you know, she literally said, I'll knock you out, bitch. That is what she said. Insane. Absolutely insane. She is, and I don't often curse, and this isn't going to be a nasty curse, so don't worry. Ashley is full of shit. Now, today's challenge saw the challengers pitted against one another on a solo level for the first time this season. I've got to say, it's about damn time. Y'all can fill me in on this, because this being my first season of the challenge, I haven't really seen a lot of people being solo. You know, all I've seen is pairs, so it's really, really cool to actually see these competitors not be able to hide behind somebody. But the shame with this thing is, with these people not being able to hide behind somebody, a lot of them resorted to cheating, which I did not like at all, but it made for a very interesting episode. I'll remind everybody that they had to do a mini final, I believe it was called, and there was this huge ass hill, and they had to... It was absolutely insane. This show, I was sat there on my couch, drinking my coffee, eating my breakfast, and I was just looking at it and thinking, I need to get up off this couch and go find the nearest gym, because because it's absolutely insane, the physical prowess of these people. It makes me want to get more buff and more fit just watching these people. So that's a good motivator, I feel like. But they had to go up this huge hill, which is just absolutely insane. And then when they got to this first checkpoint, there was 5 checkpoints in total where there was a challenge, a puzzle on checkpoints 2 to 5. But on checkpoint 1, absolute insane. So they ran up this hill, so they're all out of puff, the cardio is insane, and then they get to this first checkpoint and they've had to basically figure out a code from all these flags that when they were running up the hill they've had to keep an eye out, and then this code is an equation that equals a number. Then they get this number, which is 222, and they open the box, and sitting there is raw onion, like a full raw onion, raw garlic, raw ginger, and raw chili peppers, and they have to eat it. Listen, I love all of those foods when they are cooked into something, when they're fried up, you know, nice bit of oil all over the pan, bit of salt, bit of pepper, maybe a little bit of Cajun seasoning. I love my seasonings, all that kind of jazz. But then if you ask me to eat an onion like an apple, I'm gonna say off, because I do not want to do that, and these people had to sit through that and eat it and chow it down while they were struggling to breathe, and their bodies were just beating them up from all this exercise. It was absolutely brutal. It sounds basic. Hey, look, here's a challenge. Eat some onion and some chili peppers. Sounds like a walk in the park. Sounds like fun. Sounds like a Tuesday night at my place. But it's a very different game when these things are raw and you are having to like push your body to the limits. So a lot of these people could not hack it, and they started cheating. They started throwing everything behind them in the bushes, and then people started seeing it and going, hang on, this isn't fair. These people are up on checkpoint 3, 4 now, all because they cheated and threw their onion in the bush. So you've got some people going, I'm going to stick this out, I'm going to get it done. And then you've got some people who said, you know what, bollocks to it. If they cheated, I'm going to cheat too. So yeah, that was a big dilemma there. If it was me who was there, I ain't cheating. I'm finishing that thing until the wheels fall off. My thinking would be, if these people have cheated, they deserve to be penalised, and the people who finish it deserve the points, right? I mean, if I'm thinking rational, if I'm TJ, I would... The people, even if you came first, if you threw your onion in the bush, if you threw your ginger, garlic, whatever in the bush, you haven't completed the challenge. It's as simple as that. You know, I was watching it with Sam and my wonderful spouse, who you all know from time to time, who shows up on the channel, and we both were in agreement that you might have came first, you might have came second, might have came third, but if you only complete 90% or 95% for that matter, you haven't finished it, right? So even if you waltz in over the finish line an hour after people, if you finished it and you did the whole thing, you've done better than those people. And I truly believe that. So I just want to take my hat off to Derek and America, who actually stuck it out for a long time and got it done. I also want a special mention to CT, because everybody, you know, all this house has been mocking CT for the past few weeks and saying, you know, he's out of shape, he hasn't got it still. Listen, right, we all go in life at different points. Our weight fluctuates, our muscles fluctuate, just our appearance fluctuates, but it doesn't take away from the beast that CT has in his heart. So he might have been one of the last people to get up to checkpoint 1, but I'll tell you what, he picked that onion up like it was a bloody Granny Smith apple and chowed it down like there was no tomorrow. It was animalistic, it was just beast mode, it was just incredible to see. CT is a legend, and I am seeing why. I'm watching it unfold with my eyes right now, even though I've only seen one season of him, and a lot of people said, you know, he was way better back then. I am still beyond impressed with CT in this shape and form. So well done to him, and he's got this spirit that just doesn't die, and I know no matter who gangs up on him or no matter who says something bad about him, CT ain't gonna crack, and that's because he is a legend. Now, Turbo is somebody I have been very critical of over the past few weeks. I just haven't really warmed to him a lot, but that's not to say he doesn't have some great one-liners. I'm going to do my best Turbo impression right now, but he had a great line when he was eating the raw onion and garlic, and he was like, "This is normal breakfast in Turkey." And I was like, this is so funny, this guy. I actually laughed out loud when he said that, and I was like, see, that was a brilliant line, Turbo, and I just had to bring that one up because I just thought it was hilarious. I don't know if Turbo was one of the ones caught cheating, because I feel like the edit was very vague. We saw a couple people who definitely cheated and were throwing things behind them, but I didn't catch Turbo doing anything, but also he was one of the ones up front, and the ones up front were the ones who were cheating. So I don't know. He crushed this challenge, but I just hope that he wasn't one of the cheaters. If he was, then again, disappointed. But that one-liner, mwah, fantastic. But by the end of the challenge, when everybody crossed the finish line, it took a while, all these different puzzles, and then we found out TJ had caught them cheating, and he said to them, you know, you guys know I hate quitters, but if there's one thing I hate more than quitters, it's cheaters. And there was so much cheating going on that he negated this entire challenge and said nothing counts. You just did a mini final. You ran up that mountain, you ate all that food, or some of it, and then you did all those challenges for absolutely nothing. Nobody got any points. And it's one of those things, isn't it? You know, when you're in school and one person does something bad and then the whole class gets punished for it. I'm gonna, it might be a hot take here, I don't know, but I disagree with TJ's decision. I think the people who cheated should have been penalised, and I think the people who did the whole thing should have gotten points. That's what I think should have happened. I really believe that the people who didn't cheat should be the only people who got points. Because I don't think it was fair to punish everybody else when so many people pushed themselves through the whole thing, and some people just got to waltz right over the finish line. Cheaters don't win. Listen, I'd be left with a bad taste in my mouth if one of the cheaters won this season of the challenge after they had gotten away with points. I just think to myself, this person wouldn't be a legitimate winner for me because you didn't play by the rules. Every winner should play by the rules. I'm always the person. I truly believe on any of these shows, Survivor, Big Brother, you might be a weaker winner, you might be a stronger winner, but if you win, you win. You earned that. And I truly believe that. But when it comes to cheating, that's where it crosses a line for me. And I don't think if you win, you win if you're a cheater. So while cheating was a big topic of conversation this episode, it kind of negated the whole challenge like we discussed, and no points were given. Absolutely insane. So basically going into the lockup where you decide who is going to be your pair for the rest of the game, there was no points to be added on. So all the standings from last week that's what they went off to decide who would get to pick first in terms of their pair. And these points, you know, that we've been watching week after week actually meant something this week, because we found out that the people with the most points would be the ones who would decide who their partner is. And of course, there's a lot of duds in this cast who you don't want to be paired with. So those points, all these weeks that you've been working for it, have paid off. If you are high up on that leaderboard, you're going to get to pick somebody solid to ride it out until the end with. But before we did get to the pairs, and we're going to talk about that very, very soon, there was a halfway meal. I can't believe we're halfway. That's unbelievable to me, because there's so many people there. But the point is now they're going to be eliminated in pairs, which means the numbers are going to dwindle fast. I'll put it in this perspective. Usually with 4 episodes, we'd lose 4 people, but in 4 episodes' time, we're going to lose 8. So they are going to drop like flies, and it's going to be really, really quick. But this halfway meal that they had, CT stood up. He had his nice shirt on. I would totally wear that shirt that he was wearing as well. He had his glasses and his hair done, and he stood up with his glass of champers and said, "Cheers, everybody. Well done for making it halfway. This is great for all of us, you know, no matter what our differences are." My heart is just like, I just love this guy. Why am I falling in love with CT? I just think he's brilliant. I really do. Like, you guys are watching somebody in real time right now, a new viewer of the challenge, just absolutely fall head over heels as a fan of CT. I completely and utterly understand why everybody loves him now. I just get it. He is such a cool cucumber, and I think he's such a great competitor for a start. But then you add on his personality, and it's just a match made in heaven. And I can see why. I am thinking in my head about all the greats on Survivor and Big Brother that I've known over the years. And all the greats are the ones who are good competitors as well as good personalities. Boston Rob, good personality, great competitor. Sandra, great competitor, incredible personality. Parvati, same again. You know, all these people. Tony, for that matter. You know, all of these different people. Then Big Brother, Dr. Will, Janelle, Kesa, all these people. I mean, Kesa's tried to compete, but he tries. He puts his heart into it. But yeah, this is the point. If you've got a good personality and you're a real hard competitor, that can make you a legend. And that's what I'm seeing with CT. He literally looked like a proud dad standing up and saying, "I want all the new threats to go around and say what their experiences has been like being a part of the challenge. I want to hear this," because obviously CT's played a million times. And he wants to hear the perspectives of the new people. He just looked like a really proud dad. I want CT to be my dad. He's so cool. Like, he's so awesome. I love CT. And he really set that meal. He set the tone for the meal just to be a wholesome thing. But the tone didn't stay that way the whole time, because Will, let's talk about Will. This guy is serious, is what I'm going to say. He's a little intense, if I'm being totally honest. I felt like that was supposed to be a moment of celebration and just put the game aside and enjoy some food, enjoy some drink. Who doesn't love good food and drink? It's one of my favourite things in life. I'm being honest. Like, I'm a big foodie. Food is just... to make good food, it enhances life. It really, really does, and I'm a strong believer in that. So, you know, anybody who's got good recipes, that's your point to drop them right now in the comment section, because I am just a big foodie. But yeah, Will kind of ruined the vibe because he was trying to talk about something serious, and people kept talking over him, and then he went, "I'll wait." And I was like, this dude, you're at this meal right now, just blend in, at least try to blend in. But he didn't, and then he stood up and gave this massive talk about cheating and how from now on, when we're in pairs, if you cheat, you're going to drag down a whole pair, so stop with the cheating. And I felt like the message was great, but it was the wrong time. And in these social games, you've got to do the right things at the right time, or you can misstep and lose the whole thing. And that's why my next point is I don't think Will's going to win the challenge. I think he might maybe he might make it a few more weeks, but I don't see a winner there yet, not until he properly tweaks his game. And even though he's banging Nani right now and they're hooking up, she's even looking at him and thinking, like, this guy's a little bit intense and I don't want to cross these boundaries of game and personal, and I want to distance myself from him. We can still continue banging, but this guy's intense. It's hard to calm him down. He's on a warpath. I'm just going to let him go for it. Time to talk about the pairs right now. I'm going to go through them all and just give my thoughts on each pair, how I think they're going to do, how far I think they could make it. Just a little bit of an analysis, really, almost as if it was a cast analysis at the beginning of the season. So TJ announced that there would be no elimination this week. The stakes felt higher, even though there was no elimination, which I just want to take my hat off to the editors and the producers there for a second, because to create that tension and to create those stakes feeling higher than an elimination, that's pretty intense to do that, so well done producers and editors for that. Yeah, the pairs were picked, no elimination, just pairs being picked, so of course the people with the most points got to pick first. Lucky for them, because we've got some absolutely banging pairs at the top. Not banging in the same way of Nani and Will, but banging in just, they're a banger pair. So first, Michaela got to pick. She has been dominating this season, I'm so proud of her, and she picked Cedric, and I am in love. That pair is fantastic. And what I find funny is, as well, my commentary on those two has vastly changed. And I love that. I love being able to critique people's gameplay when I'm watching these shows and then watch them evolve and watch them change. And it just makes me so proud. I was very critical of Cedric when he was on Big Brother, because I thought he didn't really play. He was a lovely, really nice guy, and I remember loving him on a personal level, but he didn't really do much on a game level, but he's hustling here. And with Michaela as well, I thought her attitude stunk when she was on Survivor, but I think she has evolved a lot into a badass player. So again, this is like it's a full circle moment for me as a viewer to see Michaela and Cedric come together. So I think they're going to really dominate, and I can't wait to see how deep they make it. I think we're looking at them making it quite far into the season. And then Jeremy, he picked Aviv, again a fantastic pair. A few weeks ago I called Aviv my winner pick. I am standing by that. I think we could be seeing that happen. She's had a fantastic edit so far. Even though it's been under the radar slightly, she has been a voice of the season and a voice of reason. And the edit does not lie when it comes to these shows. So yeah. And Jeremy, that is a fine man. That is one of the finest men I have ever seen in my entire life. He's badass. He is so badass. He's cool. I have a man crush on him for sure. And I think that's a brilliant pair. Jeremy and Aviv and Michaela and Cedric are I'd say, two of the best pairs that were picked tonight. Next up, Olivia picked Will. I don't really see that one lasting long, because Will, again, he's a big target now. And Olivia's also a big target. That's two big targets together. We'll see how deep they can make it. Sydney picked Turbo. That's another one I would throw into the top three, even though Sydney and Turbo I'm not warmed to massively on a personal level. Really good competitors. Saw a little bit of cheating from Sydney, but yeah, I do think both of those two are on the same wavelength. And when you're on the same wavelength with your partner, you can create destruction, because if you come together and you're harmonious, listen, that's the way of the world. When even just outside of the game, when people come together, when places come together, when communities come together, that's when things thrive, not in division. Division, if you're playing a Boston Rob game or whatever, you know, division thrives when you're the one person on top and you can divide people and you can divide communities. That's when you can take control of things, and that's when you can dominate your whole way, but it only works for the person on top. But community, when two people come together and actually work together, more people can be happy, more people can work together, and that's what I'm seeing with Sydney and Turbo. You know, even though they're two of the most negative people in the house, they're gonna complement each other brilliantly, and it's gonna work for both of them majorly. Aneesa picked Jake, and Aneesa, she's awesome, and I think we should also note as well, Ashley talking crap about her, all that thing, saying, you know, she's not athletic enough to win. Aneesa got more points than Ashley. How does that taste, Ashley? It's a taste of shit, because that's what comes out your mouth all the time. So well done, Aneesa, there for picking Jake. Good pair. I like Jake. He's a good British lad, and he reminds me of home. And I think they're gonna. I think they're gonna make it far. I really do, and I hope they do. Adrienne picked Theo. To me, that pair is a little bit of a nothing sandwich, but I like them both on a personal level, so we'll see how far they make it. Justin picked Nani. Badass pair. Love those two. I think they could make it deep as well. Justin's had a journey. Nani, I feel like her biggest liability right now is Will. She needs to distance herself because, listen, I'm all for what Nani's doing. Get that dick, get the bag, walk out. That's a win. That's a brilliant win. But she needs to distance herself from Will because he's making himself a big target on a personal level. Leo ended up picking Ashley. Ashley's a big target now. Leo is doing incredibly well in terms of the new threats. I think Leo shouldn't have picked Ashley. But I don't know. It was getting to that Slim Pickens moment where it was like, who are you going to pick? And Ashley could drag down Leo. I'll just say that. But we'll see. CT picked Tay. Great pair. I've loved both of those on a personal level since the show began. So yeah, I'm really hoping CT and Tay do some damage. Do I think they will? That's another question and a reality I don't know if I want to admit yet. But I don't know if they're going to make it that far. But I like them both. That's all I'll say there. America picked Leroy. I think America's a liability. As much as I love her, and as much as I think she's great, and I loved her on Big Brother, I sang her praises all the way to the bank, and I'm still doing the same on the challenge, and I love the fact she ate all the onion and the ginger and the garlic and the chili peppers. She tanked that. I just think she might drag Leroy down on a physical level, but we'll see there. And Leroy, I'm not really a fan of on a personal level. I hope I want more to him soon. And then D picked Derek in the most odd pick, I would say, of the night. I don't think I've seen them on screen once together this season. And D, the way she announced her pick, it was almost as if she had a personal relationship with Derek. And he's a great family man. I care about him a lot. He's a tank and all this kind of stuff. I'm going to pick Derek. And I think Derek obviously gave her a big hug and everything. But I was kind of thinking to myself, have you even talked to him since the season started? I'm surprised you even know his damn name. But yeah, and Derek acknowledged that. He said in his confessional, like, I'm a bit confused. This is a marriage made in hell right now. But I like Derek. I like D. I like Derek. I didn't see D compete on Survivor. But I plan on watching her season very, very soon, ahead of season 50, because I want to get all caught up. But I don't know what she was thinking there. What was she thinking, guys? I can't quite make sense of that. Maybe after I've drank a few more cups of coffee I'll make sense of it, but right now I cannot. I like Derek though. I'll say that for sure. Derek's cool. Derek is... Do you know what Derek reminds me of? This is going to be so random. And I just want to know if anybody else is on my wavelength here. Because I don't know a lot about Derek because I've only watched him one season, but he reminds me of that like 90s... Sugar Ray vibes. You know Sugar Ray, like Mark McGrath, and man, Sugar Ray's got some bangers. He reminds me of that. He looks like he could fit, especially with his hair and everything. He just looks Like, he could fit into Sugar Ray. Every morning there's a halo hanging from the corner. He reminds me straight out of the 90s. And even though I wasn't born in the 90s, I love 90s things. And he just seems cool to me. But then after that, the last two people were forced together, and that was Gabe and John A. And that's a weak pair. That's a weak pair if I've ever seen one. Gabe has been a liability episode after episode, and people don't really want to work with him, which is why he wasn't picked. And then John A, she already has the disadvantage of being the latest person in the house, and I feel like one of the big plot points this episode was her getting paranoid, and I feel like they're planting a seed there for paranoid to just go rife. Next episode, maybe the episode after, it's going to happen at some point. Gabe and John A, I'd probably put my kidney on the line to say they're not going to win the season. And now I'm really worried about my kidney. But we'll wrap it up there. That is all of your challenge breakdown for today, folks. I thoroughly hope you all enjoyed watching. I'm having a blast doing this season. That was one of my favourite episodes of the season so far. Despite the challenge being a whole cheating thing, it was still fascinating to see who actually could dig deep and get it done. It also motivated me to want to go to the gym soon, so maybe I'll do that, or maybe I'll just sit on the couch because that's cozier. I want to thank everybody for watching, and I would love to know who everybody's winner pick is now. Now we've got these pairs that are locked in for the end. Let me know in the comment section below. Maybe I'll come back to this and see who got it right. Who do you think could win the challenge, Vets and New Threats? Let me know right down there, folks. Thank you, everybody, for continuing to support me on this new endeavour, doing the challenge. I'll remind everybody that my first Survivor 49 breakdown is uploaded right now. Me and Sam sat down to talk all things about the premiere, and next up is the Amazing Race, so that coverage again with me and Sam is coming, and if you're watching this after at the weekend or beyond, the video will already be up, so why don't you treat yourself and go and watch the Amazing Race breakdown. We got so much good TV this fall, so get on board and we can all hang out in our little TV Talks with Tom community. It's going to be so much fun. But thank you for watching, everybody. I hope that you're all staying safe, staying positive and staying healthy out there, and remember to be kind to one another. Don't be like Ashley. But in the meantime, please don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, do all of that wonderful stuff. But until your next challenge breakdown, I've been your host, Tom VASEY. Good night.